Well, now we're going to be looking at parallelograms. And a parallelogram is a quadrilateral where its opposite sides are parallel. The two pair of opposite sides are parallel, quadrilateral, four-sided figure. Now, a parallelogram has some special properties. In addition to just the definition, which is one of its properties, that its opposite sides are not only parallel, but they are also congruent. They have the same measure of length. The opposite sides have the same measure. In addition to that, the opposite angles also are congruent. Third property is that the consecutive interior angles are supplementary. They add to those two together, add to 180 degrees. And a fourth property is if a parallelogram has one right angle, it then has four right angles. All angles would be right angles. So we've got a figure here of an extendable mirror. And let's just take a look at what we've got here. We're looking at this little segment right in here. Now, if I look closely here, I can see that JK, segment JK, is parallel to ML, and segment JM is parallel to, let's say, KL. So we've got a four-sided figure. Its opposite sides are parallel. And now we're going to use these properties to help us find some measures. So we have here, it says the wall-mounted mirror shown uses parallelograms that change shape as the arm is extended. Suppose parallelogram JKLM, that in that parallelogram that the measure of angle J is 47. So it's saying that this angle here is 47. And then we're asked to find the measures of angle L and then angle M. Well, if I look at angle L, it is opposite angle J. And therefore, by the properties of a parallelogram, the opposite angles are congruent. So this measure of angle L then is also going to be 47. If J is 47, L is 47. Now, what about angle M? So angle M is right here. And it is a consecutive, it's not opposite, it is a consecutive interior angle with angle J, which means that the two of them are supplementary. So if I want to find the measure of M, I'm going to take 180 and subtract from it the measure of J, 47, and that is going to come to 133. So consecutive angles are supplementary, opposite angles are congruent. Now we have a second question here. And by the way, all this comes from example 1 on page 404 of your textbook. It says, suppose the arm was extended further so that the measure of angle J is 90 degrees. What would be the measure of each other angle? Well, that takes us to one of the properties of parallelograms, which states that that's theorem 6.6, that if a parallelogram has one right angle, then all four of the angles have to be right angles, and so 90 would be the correct answer, and our justification for that is theorem 6.6, which states that if a parallelogram has one right angle, then it has four right angles. All right, little work with parallelograms. Kind of glad to be away from triangles for a while, although we're not through with triangles. We'll be back.